Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we'll be talking about the Christians in America. Now they are regretting why they voted for Donald Trump. Now they are saying that Donald Trump lied to them, that he said that God called him to come and be the president again, to reform America, to help the Christian community, to provide job, good health for them. But that is not what he's doing. Donald Trump administration have come to cause havoc and pain for them, to increase tariffs. Guys, listen to what the Christians community have got to say.
I'll be honest with y'all about something. I voted for Trump. I'm in a little town outside of Memphis, and I voted for Trump mainly because I'm a Christian man. Been Christian, I guess my whole life. And Trump said he wants to help the Christians, And then he had me all scared about the Mexicans, saying they're rapists and whatnot, and drug dealers and all that. And he said, I'm going to help them. I'm going to end this on day one and fix eggs on day one. And it just all sounded real pretty like. And then here we are, and Trump's destroying America. I mean, he's gotten rid of, now he said he wasn't going to touch Medicaid. Now he supports Medicaid being defunded. He supports Social Security, Medicare, all that shit being defunded, being tore down. Hell, if he gets rid of Medicaid, my mama's sick in a fucking nursing home. Excuse my language. But she's in a fucking nursing home. Excuse my language again. Me and my sister, who just got fired from the VA after working there for 14 fucking years because of that fucking Elon, we gonna have to fit the bill. We can't afford it. We ain't rich people. I live in a small town. We can't afford it, y'all. And the people that can't afford it, the fucking billionaires, he wants to give them welfare. And the poor people out here busting their ass every day, and the middle class people out here suffering, can't afford a house, can't afford to feed their family, and he wants to raise our fucking taxes? I should have never voted for that devil. And Elon's a fucking Nazi. When he did that salute, I fucking knew it. And then when he supported Germany Nazi Party and all that Nazi shit propaganda, racist shit he spreads on X, he's a fucking Nazi. And I hope Tesla burns to the fucking ground along with Starlink and fucking X. And I shouldn't be talking like this as a Christian man. But fuck them, man. They're a bunch of fucking fascists. They're destroying our goddamn democracy. Excuse me. Destroying our Constitution, going against the courts, going against the laws. And the only people they care about is themselves. They ain't never cared about Christianity. I don't think they care about nothing except for money and power. And that's the fucking truth. And I regret, and I apologize to America for my vote. I made a critical mistake. But if I was in the cult then, I ain't no more. And you know one more fucking thing? I work with Mexicans now. I started a new job in January. I work with about 4 or 5 Mexicans. Not near one of them a fucking rapist or a goddamn drug dealer. Another fucking lie. Haitians too ain't no goddamn dogs and cats in fucking Ohio. It's all fucking bullshit to scare people into fucking votes. That man ain't never spoke the truth, and I should have seen through it. But them Mexicans that I work with, they're just good fucking people looking for a better fucking life. And they work harder than anybody in our goddamn company. Excuse me. They work harder than anybody in our company. And you know what one of them said to me the other day? I wish I had your skin color.
I am calling on Congress to get the U.S. Marshals to the White House and to remove Donald Trump. He has just violated the Posse Comitatus Act while not invoking the Insurrection Act. This is illegal, this is treason, and tyranny. This man has broken the law more times than any public office holder in America. And now, after sending the 700 Marines to LA on an unlawful order, He has violated the Posse Comitatus Act. It is time for Congress to do what they're there to do and to take the reins of our government and make sure the U.S. Marshals arrest Donald Trump for treason. This isn't, oh, MAGA's just being dumb, and Donald Trump has committed treason against this country, treason against the American people, and treason against
President Trump, you claim to be a man who makes great deals. Well, God has sent me with an offer for you to save your nation from his destruction. A 7-year open settlement for all descendants of the transatlantic slave trade who wish to repatriate to Liberia or Sierra Leone. Here are the terms, assuming 2 million descendants take you up on the offer. Each descendant gets $1 million. That's $2 trillion over 7 years, but that's not all. $10 billion over 7 years to Liberia or Sierra Leone for us to build 5,000 modern K-12 schools, fully staffed, owned, and free. $7 billion over 7 years for military aid, training, defense, equipment, and regional security, so we never have to run back to America. $50 billion over 7 years for national infrastructure, roads, power grids, water systems, internet, airports, and ports, done right. That's a total of $2.1 trillion.
Thank you, my beautiful people, for always returning back to watch my video. I really appreciate and I love you all. Yes, the Christian communities are crying. The citizens are crying. They want Donald Trump to stop this global war. They want Donald Trump to do the right thing. Like he has said during the election, that he is sent by God, that God told him to come back to reform America. So they want him to reform America. They want him to reform the world. That he should stop all this global war. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate you all my returning subscribers. Thank you all for watching and sharing my video, and I will see you guys again.
Area for free slaves with government U.S. support, believing both sides would benefit. You bring domestic peace and stability to America. 2 million descendants of enslaved people, many who carry the deepest generational burdens from centuries of injustice, will take you up on the offer to build a new nation alongside their brothers and sisters, free from persecution and finally positioned to rise with dignity, strength, and sovereignty. You reduce some of the heaviest long-term societal costs. Those who are chronically homeless, formerly incarcerated with limited opportunities, elderly without family support, and medically dependent without sustainable care. This creates relief for U.S. housing, jobs, public schools, and medical systems, reduces spending on prisons, welfare, Section 8, public health care, and legal battles. You achieve a lighter, more focused domestic budget and clearer cultural identity. You end the race conflict in one generation. No more affirmative action wars, no more critical race theory debates, no more systematic racism lawsuits, no more DEI mandates. You finally resolve America's longest conflict, the one no president ever could. You get U.S. corporate expansion on equal terms. America gains a trusted trade partner in West Africa. U.S. companies lead the charge in building 5,000 schools, national infrastructure, and defense systems. Contracts worth tens of billions. Later, they gain early access to a rising $100 billion plus market through fair bidding, not dominance. From roads to telecom, food to fintech, America gets first-in-line opportunities with a free sovereign ally. We are not building on what Liberia or Sierra Leone is. We are building what no African nation has ever been allowed to become: a fully sovereign, black-led, resource-rich, globally respected nation, free from Western manipulation, Chinese debt, or post-colonial failure. This is not reform. These two nations sit on hundreds of billions in raw, God-given wealth, long held back by instability and outside interference. Gold, diamonds, lithium, bauxite, timber, rubber, cocoa, palm oil, iron ore, fisheries, fertile land, and pristine coastlines for agriculture, tourism, and development. Deep water ports ready to rival the best in West Africa. With transparency, modern technology, and strategic investment, these blessings will be transformed into trillions in export-ready finished goods, millions of good-paying jobs across every sector, a foundation for regional trade leadership and global influence. This exceeds 40 acres and a mule. It's about seeding the $2.1 trillion launch of top-tier doctors, engineers, educators, and creators from the diaspora, natives rising in leadership, ownership, and generational opportunity, cooperative enterprises rooted in justice, not colonial systems, a new nation powered by shared ownership in schools, infrastructure, land, and enterprise. We can't even project what the GDP will be in 3 to 5 years. This is also about U.S. power. BRICS is expanding. Russia's working with Captain Traore in Burkina Faso. China's Belt and Road is buying loyalty in cement and steel. Europe is aging, scrambling, clinging for what's left. Africa is the future, but only one nation will lead the gateway into it. You decide whether it's a BRIC stronghold or an American partner. partner. With this plan, America aligns with the richest, fastest growing black-led economy on earth. The West African corridor becomes a U.S.-aligned, export-ready, strategic, sovereign partner. Every future negotiation in Africa starts with a handshake from a former descendant of your soil. President Trump, again, you claim to be a man who makes great deals. Well, in this deal, you heal America's greatest wound. Without internal chaos or forced land or wealth transfers, you position U.S. power in West Africa and checkmate BRICS. You fulfill the vision of Jefferson, Lincoln, and the Most High God. You are now the great liberator, and you do it for less than what America already wasted on the Iraq war. They spent $2.2 trillion, left 500,000 dead, a region destabilized, and they birthed ISIS. You got no democracy, no peace, no allies. Or the Afghanistan war. They spent $2.3 trillion over 2 decades. Taliban was back in power in days. Tons of resources, nothing to show for it. You got zero ROI. For $2.1 trillion over 7 years, you will be known as the president who freed the captives, completing what Jefferson and Lincoln only began. Strengthened America at home, expanded America abroad, securing a trade-anchored alliance in West Africa. You blocked BRICS from the gateway to Africa, claiming the future before your enemies do, and you align the United States with heaven itself on the right side of history, prophecy, and justice. But if you deny or delay, the Most High God has said, according to Numbers 35:33, that the blood that all races have shed in your nation will be cleansed by the blood of the people who shed it, in the name of Yeshua, the soon-coming King. Get in touch with us at rep2025.org.